Hey guys, MaximumR9 here for another video. Sorry this one took so long to make, but I think that this one is going to be one of the better ones. This video is going to be on offense, and it's primarily about the 1v1 game mode. But, like I said in the defense video, it can be applied to all aspects of Rocket League. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get to it. Dribbling in ones in all over Rocket League is one of the most talked about aspects other than freestyling and aerials, and is one of the most effective forms of offense in scoring a goal. Dribbling has 4 different kinds of subcategories: bounce dribbling, standard dribbling, hybrid dribbling, and fakes. The first kind of dribbling that I'm going to discuss is bounce dribbling, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You have control over the ball by constantly bouncing it from one side of your car to the other, by the ball bouncing and you hitting it with the corner of your car just enough to where it'll move to the opposite side of the field, or to the opposite side of your car/line. Through bouncing the ball, you can make a couple of different kinds of plays, but the most popular ones is to either take a power shot, hit it off the backboard or wall, or go for a type of fake that I will describe later in this section. The second type, that I called standard dribbling, is simply keeping the ball on the ground and driving behind it or on the top of your car while balancing the ball. It's probably the most popular dribbling mechanic in Rocket League because of the amount of options and variability that you have over the ball. You can take a shot, you can flick it, you can go in, and you can even go into some more advanced mechanics like fakes or air dribbles. This type of dribble is 1, the easiest to perform and execute consistently, and 2, the easiest to augment and change up with other mechanics. Performing this dribble is as simple as driving behind the ball and not just hitting it, having control over the speed of the ball and your own car, or balancing the ball on the top of your car and doing the same thing, maintaining momentum and speed with the ball and your car. What you want to focus on is holding on to the ball and keeping control of it on and off your car with this dribble. So either switching from the top of your car to the pitch, or from the pitch to the top of your car. The third dribble that I mentioned was hybrid dribbling, which is more or less the ability to switch between bounce dribbling and standard dribbling. So, per se, you could bounce it off the wall, and off of that wall bounce, you catch it with the top of your car or the side of your car, and you immediately go into a standard dribble, or vice versa. You're in a standard dribble and you choose to go into a bounce dribble. The last one that I mentioned was fakes. Fakes are a tricky form of dribbling that is more about outsmarting and strategy of your opponent than actually moving the ball past them. When talking about faking, we mean that you fake your movements into the ball, or you fake your movement into the ball and move the ball slightly to force your opponent to miss. To bring up a situation, you are dribbling the ball slowly down the field and you are met with your opponent shadowing you. He turns around and starts to begin an early challenge. How do you try to fake him? Well, you can move the ball a little to the side and force him to miss it when he jumps at the ball, thus having an open shot on net. Or you could try for a second kind of fake, where you boost into the ball and stop right before hitting the ball, which gives the illusion that you are about to hit the ball and take a shot, but really, your opponent is going to try and predict that, so he'll jump in the way of your shot. That is the best way to explain faking on a simple level, but of course, you can do any kind of fake. You can bounce the ball up and go for an air dribble fake, you can go for a ceiling shot fake. Fakes are so universal in Rocket League mechanics that they can be performed anywhere. But what about if the ball is in the air or on the wall? How would you approach it and how would you hit it? I'd like to give a quick disclaimer that walls and aerial plays are such a broad subject, with all the mechanics that are being discovered and developed by pros and other players, and how the Rocket League meta changes, that this will require its own video later down the line. However, this will be a gross summary to just introduce the concept to lower ranked players. Wall play begins by moving the ball up the wall, but the direction, speed, and angle at which you hit the ball drastically changes the types of mechanics that you can perform, and your strategy to scoring. In lower ranks like Gold and Platinum, the defense game is much lower and much less developed than that of Diamond and Champ lobbies. So the most effective strategy is to take the ball up at a 45 degree to a 65 degree angle on the wall and then take a shot on target. When you're taking a shot on the wall, you want to aim for the crossbar. It sounds weird to aim for the crossbar, but if you get a bad touch, you can get a shot on net, or it can turn into a pass, or if you do hit the crossbar, you are still able to recover once you hit the ball by using the mechanics I discussed in my recovery video. You could also, if you're at a higher level, do an air dribble, flip reset, or ceiling shot. However, these will get their own videos because the mechanics are rather complicated and can tie into each other. Now let's move on to the aspect of aerial gameplay. Going for aerials heavily depends on the situation, but a general couple of tips is to hit the ball with the nose of your car and specifically the corners if you are able to. Those generate the most amount of power and give you the most control over where the ball can go. Another tip is to really focus on your ascent and not accidentally doing a flip instead of double jumping. To perform this, you want to jump, lean back, and jump again, making sure that you're not holding or leaning back while jumping that second time to make sure you're getting up in the air as best and smoothly as possible. Furthermore, if the ball is roughly crossbar height, you can just use one jump to be able to flip into the ball. But anything higher than the crossbar level, you should be using the 2 jumps to really get to the ball as fast as possible. In ones, aerials are a great way to throw off your opponent, especially if you're able to get a shot on target. However, there's a risk associated with them, because if you do happen to miss, then you will be left open and you will leave your goal open for an easy shot. But what if you don't want to aerial the ball and you have possession of the ball while dribbling? Off of a dribble, you are able to flick the ball. Flicking the ball usually refers to doing a standard dribble while the ball is on top of your car and flipping to make the ball go up in the air and forward and into your opponent's net. There are a few kinds of flicks that you can do, but I will make a video describing flicks later on because it is a topic that requires its own video due to the complexity of some of the flicks and when to do them in certain situations. To grossly oversimplify it, when you have the ball on the top of your car, you want to just tap the jump button and then flip into the ball. Your goal is to create lift under the ball. The most common way is to keep the ball on the front portion of your car and to flip and to do a front flip, I should say, or a diagonal flip into the ball. This is the most common and often the most effective. By doing that, you are able to bring the tail end of your car around, and that will hit the ball, forcing it to fly upwards and forwards at a greater speed. Then you can start to get into side flips and delayed flips, where instead of immediately jumping into the ball, you could turn your car in any direction, say to the side, and then flip. Delayed flicks is a great weapon to use that allows you to slip the ball past your opponent at the last second and throws your opponent off their tempo and speed because they don't know when the ball is about to be launched. Doing a delayed flick, you have to understand that you have roughly 1.5 seconds to do your flip. Once you do your flip, you're able to launch the ball further and oftentimes harder because that ball is going to slow down and then you are reintroducing momentum and acceleration back into the ball. And lastly, you have your flashier flicks, like the musty flick, the breezy flick, or the tornado flick. These are a huge test of your car control skills and often aren't very practical if your opponent is constantly applying pressure on you. But they can be a great way to confuse your opponent and can lead to a goal very quickly. I will describe each of these flicks in a flick tutorial video. However, the most important skill to learn is how to shoot the ball. Now you may be wondering why shots are so important and that you can already do them. However, continuous, consistent, and powerful shots is a fundamental skill to master because it allows you to shoot the ball from anywhere on the field, from any position, and the ball will at least go on target. Shots are rather simple and we can all do them, but making a shot with power and speed is something that is only achieved consistently at a high level of play. When taking shots, you should only be using the front of your car, and specifically the nose of your car, because that holds the most amount of potential energy when driving towards the ball. The best way to practice any shot is to do free play and a lot of Kev Pert car control and aerial car control packs. These will allow you to practice that motion of hitting the ball consistently with the nose of your car and generating power. I will further discuss shots in a short and quick video later on throughout this month. When in a 1v1 scenario, there are a couple kinds of strategies that you can use, but the two main categories are either being passive or aggressive. Passive players are the type to hang out in their own net or constantly shadow you until you make a mistake, leading into a counterattack or taking a long shot on your net once you've been pulled out from your position. However, a common strategy to beat a passive player is to constantly put pressure on them through shots and flicks. Because they are so passive, you will force the pace of the game to increase to your benefit, and they will have to either adapt or forfeit many goals. On the contrary, aggressive players will not give you any space and will constantly boost starve you to get you to move out of the net so they have a clear shot on net. However, they have one flaw, and that is because they like going for the ball, they are more prone to being faked and have trouble when you play the ball around them. The term that gets thrown around, playing the ball around an opponent, means to move the ball in a way that will go around the player. For example, when your opponent is coming to challenge and you hit the ball to the side of them or over them, that is playing the ball around them. In ones, usually those are the most prevalent play styles, but at a higher rank, it is much more effective to combine the two, and being able to switch between being passive and very aggressive. I just want to say, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more, and comment what you want to learn about next or what you want to see next. I hope all y'all have a fantastic day, and thank you for watching.